I've always been a big fan of videos just like this where people go in and just kind of rank various things that they enjoy. And with this being a rap specific channel, I thought, well, it would be kind of fun to rank Lil rappers. Because, you know, every rapper loves to put Lil in their name. Now, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of rappers with Lil in their name, and of course, I cannot get to all of them. And a lot of the rappers who have Lil in their name, I haven't listened to them at all, or at least not enough to give a solid good opinion on where I would rank them. So what I did for this video is I've compiled a list of 18 different Lil rappers who I've listened to on various extents. At least enough to give a really solid viewpoint on it to where I can give an informed opinion, because of course I don't want to rank a rapper who I know literally nothing about. Now of course this is not all the rappers that I have listened to, and especially not all of the rappers I've listened to with Lil in the name. I just feel like these 18 would be probably some of the best and I guess most fun and somewhat most controversial to try and rank. Now I am going to do my best to really try and explain why I'm ranking them the way that I am, and for this video I'm showing no mercy. So with that said, let's get into it. Right, first up we got Lil Yachty. Now Lil Yachty I was not a fan of a few years back, but for some reason around the middle of last year, I suddenly started enjoying his music. Now he has a lot of good songs, however, he also has a lot of music that I recognize just really is not that great. Kind of right off the bat, I'm thinking between a B and a C, partially because of his cultural influence is definitely there, but his newest project I really was not a fan of, so there's that aspect. Now he is a really big well-known rapper, and he is one of the biggest rappers that has Lil in his name. So just based on everything, I would want to put him between a B and a C. However, let's put him in the C category. He's kind of like a high C to me, right? Like I still love a lot of his music. However, as a whole, a lot of it is just really not that great, objectively speaking. Some people love it, but a lot of it really is not for me. And keep in mind, I am saying this as somebody who is a decent fan of Lil Yachty. In fact, he was one of my top 5 most listened to artists last year on Spotify. Next up, we got Lil Baby. Now, Lil Baby is a bit newer to the rap scene, and I definitely am not going to put him as an S tier rapper just because, well, he is so new. I don't really want to call him a B-rated rapper either, just because of what he's been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time, especially with J. Cole's newest album. Lil Baby's feature in there was just so immaculate, and everybody who listened to the album the night it dropped loved his feature. But at the same time, I do think that Lil Baby has a lot more to do, a lot further to go in his career. I think I'm gonna put Lil Baby in the A tier. Part of me kind of wants to put him at like an A-, B+-ish, because I recognize that he's going to grow a lot more over the next few years, and I definitely do believe Lil Baby will be an S tier rapper at some point. Next up, we got Lil Pump. Now, of course, Lil Pump's not going to be in the S category or even the A or B. I'm actually going to put Lil Pump as a D rapper, not an F rapper, simply because there are a few songs that he has that I really honestly kind of enjoyed. And I was a big fan of Harvard Dropout when it dropped originally. Now, not really vibing with it. My music taste has changed a lot, but at the time, you know, it was pretty decent, I think. I mean, he's got a couple bangers, but overall, as an artist collectively, I'm gonna give him the D rating. Next up, we got Lil Toe. Now, compared to the other artists so far, he is very, very underground. However, his ability to rap and make music is still seriously so insane. He's very talented rapper, and I think is going to have a massive career in front of him, assuming that he actually markets himself a bit better. In terms of talent, I kind of give him a B. I feel like he has the potential to become a higher ranked rapper over time. However, if you include everything, his persona, what he's done so far, him still being a pretty small rapper relatively to these other guys, I'm gonna give him a C ranking. Now, do I think that talent-wise he deserves to be higher? Yes. But if a ranking based on a mix of, I guess, influence, mixed with talent, mixed with what I like personally, all that combined, right now he's a C-rated rapper. However, I think B or even A is definitely possible if he makes more music that helps him push his career further, or maybe works with a big artist, gets a nice feature, something along those lines. Next up, we got Lil Skies. Now, Lil Skies is an interesting one. First of all, this rose on my arm is Lil Skies inspired, so there's that. I'm a little bit partial to him. A lot of his older sound I enjoyed a lot. However, his newer stuff I'm not vibing with quite as much. Part of that is just because my personal music taste has changed quite a bit. However, his influence was insane in the rap space. I mean, he got to work with Cole Bennett, right? He's definitely made a name for himself. He's had some solid influence, and a lot of people know his name. Overall, even though I do like him as an artist, I'm still gonna have to put him in the C category. Next up, we got Lil Windex. The reason why I didn't put Lil Pump as an F tier rapper. Lil Windex, sorry man, you're gonna be an F tier rapper for this. Next up, we got Lil Darkie. Lil Darkie is an interesting character to say the least. Now, part of what makes Lil Darkie so interesting is the fact that his music is part of the reason why this channel is where it is right now. My biggest video on this channel is actually talking about Lil Darkie like 10 months ago. Now, Lil Darkie's talent is still insane overall. What he's been able to create in every aspect has been just immaculate. He's very, very controversial, as we all know. He's not an S tier rapper by any means. I don't even think I'd call him an A tier rapper. He's not Lil Baby's level. Even B tier, I'm not really feeling B tier quite yet. He still has a lot more to develop. So overall, I think I'm gonna give him like a mid C. Next up, we got Lil Dicky. Now, Lil Dicky is another really interesting rapper. He's fun just because like his comedic-esque, I guess, type of sound. He has made a massive name for himself in the music space, has gotten to work with some very, very talented artists, and overall just makes some really funny, fun music. However, on the aspect of influence, I don't think he has that much big influence. His music, his talent is definitely there. I'm gonna give him a C, but kind of barely. I mean, I like his music. It's really entertaining. Next up, we got Lil Mosey. Now, Lil Mosey is an interesting character, just like a lot of these other guys. Lil Mosey has some phenomenal music. Kid's only like 19, however, there was kind of that accusation that happened with him recently, which it's kind of interesting. I remember a few years back, I actually went to go see him in a concert, so I know that he's a very talented kid regarding his music, of course. At the moment, giving him a D tier ranking, simply because he is so young and the whole accusation thing, I don't really feel comfortable ranking him higher right now. But I feel like if he were to release maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 more albums as he gets a bit older that were really, really good, he could definitely jump up to like a B pretty quickly. Next up, we got Lil Wayne. Now, Lil Wayne is definitely an S tier rapper through and through. Don't need to give much explanation for that. He is a GOAT through and through. He pretty much pioneered a lot of today's music and is pretty much one of the most well-known Lil rappers. And he's really shown to stand the test of time. He never fell off. He never disappeared. He's been pretty consistent at being a known rapper and consistently putting out music over time. So Lil Wayne definitely going to be the S tier rapper for this list. Next up, we got Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert had some hell of some bangers in the past and still makes a lot of bangers left and right. Eternal Take was a mixed album to a lot of people. I loved Eternal Take. I loved the deluxe version. I loved a lot of Lil Uzi's past albums. His album he made with Future, I wasn't quite feeling that much. However, overall, I am going to have to give him an A ranking on this, primarily because of his sphere of influence. He is pretty much one of the most well-known rappers, especially in the newer wave of rap. And well, he's shown to prove that he is not only talented, but is able to market himself very, very well. And he's been able to amass this just massive cult-like fan base. So between all of that, gonna give him an A ranking. Next up, we got Lil Eazzyy. Now, he is a fairly new rapper to the space. However, he's extremely talented and has been able to amass a massive following very, very quickly. 2022, I'd probably say a B tier rapper, but for the time being, C tier rapper, just because, once again, he's just so new. Next up, we got Lil Gnar. Now, Lil Gnar, he's a decent rapper, has a couple good hits with a couple good artists. However, gonna have to put him in a D tier. He's not really where he needs to be yet in his career. He's got so much more growth to make. Next up, we got Lil Peep. Now, Lil Peep has a couple songs I like, but as a whole, not the biggest fan of his music. However, his sphere of influence in the rap space, especially in the SoundCloud era space, is just insane. He pretty much pioneered like everything that we listen to now that's emo rap related, especially the melodic rap area. I want to put him in A tier based on influence, but B tier because of what I like personally. I think I'm going to put him in B tier for this simply because B tier is empty and I want someone there. But if we're talking about sphere of influence specifically, I probably would have put him in like an A. Next up, we got Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X is more than anything a marketing genius. I could put him in the S tier, however, I'm putting the A tier right now. Granted, he has the the biggest song ever to literally ever exist. However, the reason why I'm not putting him in S tier is because just like a lot of these other guys, he's so new. People are still listening to him in, let's say, 5-10 years, putting him in S tier for sure. But I really just don't think it's fair to put him in the same ranking as Lil Wayne at all. Next up, we got Lil Tjay. Now, Lil Tjay, just immaculate voice, phenomenal in everything that he does, has definitely made a name for himself, and I think has a lot more growth to still do even so. Right now, gonna put him in the B tier list. The reason why he's a B tier rapper to me is because although he doesn't have a ton of influence, he has some influence so far, but his talent is just insane. So for the time being, probably gonna put him in like a B tier right now, like I said. A tier at some point, probably, but for the time being, B tier. Next up, we got Lil Xan. He's got a couple songs that I kind of like, kind of vibe with. Slingshot is fun as hell to listen to with a bunch of bass in your car. Betrayed, I had memorized at one point. He's got some decent songs. His newest song, My Girlfriend or whatever, that was a good song for sure. However, overall, D tier rapper to me. And last but not least, we got the guy, the homie, the boy, Lil Tecca. Lil Tecca's newest song is just immaculate. His last album was kind of mid for me. His first album, or one of his earlier albums, We Love You Tecca, I love that album through and through. That was phenomenally put together. I'm gonna give him like a C ranking right now. If he were to release more consistently, maybe adjust his sound a little bit, kind of prove to the world that he's here to stay. Definitely a higher ranking over time, but for the time being, kind of feeling like a C tier ranking for him. I want to make this as honest as possible based on both my opinion, what I think of the artist personally, mixed with how I feel like they've kind of influenced the rap space as a whole. Now, of course, this is not all the rappers, and especially not all the little rappers. And of course, a low ranking does not necessarily mean that the artist is bad at making music. It's just a mix of everything, mixed between my personal opinion, the public opinion, mixed with sphere of influence, mixed with marketing and how they've grown so far, mixed with how I think they'll do in the future. So with all that combined, this is what I got. But with that said, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and thank you for staying till the end. It really means a lot. If you haven't already, make sure to join my Discord server down below. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any other future videos that I post. And once you've done all those things, make sure to click on these plays popping up on screen and go and binge some of my content. But with all that said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.